how's it going? We're doing another scavenger hunt here at our quarantine isolation period at Norris Dam State Park. It's a 4,000 acre state park. Has 18 trails ranging from a quarter mile to 4 3/4 miles, and then obviously a whole mix of ones in between all of that. You can link them together and you can make loops. It has 8,000 acres of lakeshore that you can explore. And there's fishing, there's boating, there's basketball, there's tennis courts, there's fishing and hiking. So there's lots of options. It's a beautiful day. We're gonna start this out. I got my friend Elmer here to start out the scavenger hunt today, and we'll see you in a little bit. Hey guys, here we are by the visitor center by the dam. We're gonna start hiking in here right now. This is an interpretive trail by this author Jane Yolen, I think I'm saying that right, Owl Moon, and there's interpretive signs the whole way. So this is a great trail. I think the whole thing's maybe less than a mile, and it has bits of the story along the way for you to read, and it's really, really cool. I've never seen another state park or any park adapt a book in this way. So really neat. You go get to see the beauty parts of the dam. You go down by the water, and the signs are all along the way. Oh, I forgot to mention, Norris Dam State Park is about a half mile from Knoxville. You take I-75, real straight shot there. And there's a lot of different visitor centers. You can download the map at norrisdamstatepark.com. Well, here we are. There's our first one of our scavenger hunts. It's a trout lily coming up out of the ground. One of the many lilies I grow here. Here it is on my sheet. Check that off. I also want to point out something else real quick. Here's a yellow trillium leaves coming out. So tri for trillium, like a tricycle. So 3 leaves, 3 septums, and 3 petals. Cool. See you in a bit. Well, here we are. Second one on the list. Big pile of dirt. And actually it's a pile of dirt, but it's a root structure of a tree. It's so rocky here because it used to be an old ocean floor. So instead of the trees reaching down, they reach across. It's called tap rooting. And you kids can probably remember the root structure in the juniper that you've been playing at in the adventure area with the roots spread out. I want to point out something really cool coming up here. This is a flower, squirrel corn or squaw corn. See these little guys popping up here? And they'll get these little kernels. I don't know if you kids have ever seen, but around Halloween time, you have these little corns you can eat, these candy corns, and they look a lot like that when they're developed. And they get the corns all developed, they'll be like this tall. And they call it bear corn because the bears will put their mouth over it and then squeeze off the kernels and eat them. But I've heard that bears really don't like it. It's kind of a last resort. Don't forget to check off your pile of dirt. Boop. Well, here we are, just really pretty scene here. I wanted to point out these toothworts that we saw the other day. These like horseradish. There they are. Where we don't pick anything in outdoors unless you have a guide with you or someone knows what they're doing. And I wanted to point out something else on the list. Here, check this out over here. Look at this. There's a stick. More like a limb. I wanted to show you something on here. So you got all kinds of things growing off this. It's called a nursery stick. All kinds of different lichens and some little turkey tail mushrooms that are developing here. I wanted to point out though, when you see a mushroom popping up from a tree, it's only 10% of the mushroom. 90% of it is inside the wood, weaving its way around, breaking down the wood and making it into soil again. Cool, the adventure continues. I have another cool flower that just popped up. I'm really excited about this one. So this is called Little Brown Jug. These are the actual flowers. You see these little brown guys coming out of there? They look like little brown jugs. They have a great name. Usually it's more underground or underneath some leaves. It looks like some people cleared this off to see the little brown jugs coming up here. But look at these beautiful leaves coming off of here. So that's what I'm gonna tag on my Bingo up here in the corner pocket. Leaf. Voila. Cool. Here's another one. Ferns. And then look at this. These new ferns coming up. Fiddleheads, they're called. And a lot of them are edible. And there's tons of different kinds of ferns that grow out here. Some of them stay for a couple of years. Some of them pop up every year. And there's another flower that's popping up. Spring beauties. Cool. And here we go. Fern. Wow. Hey kids, here we are for another one. Big old rock. They put these rocks in here, you kind of look around. There's one here and there's a couple of scattered around here to keep ATV people out from using the trails. This is a horse and people trail. This is a muscadine grapevine and it comes out of usually where the root structure of the tree that it's hosting. And then you can see it goes all the way up to the top of the crown of the tree where you can get some sun. And usually at the end of September, especially in the Smokies, the bears climb up that tree and they eat those muscadine grapes. And they make wines with it and jellies. You kids have probably seen when you go to Gatlinburg. It's kind of tart, but it's an acquired taste. You have a little bit of sugar to it. It's really good. I wanted to point out a different kind of vine now that we're looking at vines. Poison ivy vine. Kind of noticed that the muscadine was separated from the tree. This poison ivy vine is really close to the tree and it's a lot hairier. You see the hairs growing off of it? That's a sure sign of poison ivy. So you don't ever want to grab that because there's oils on there that will give you that rash. And here's another one on our list. Clouds. That's an easy one, they're always out, huh? Oh, I never checked my free one. Don't forget to do that. Well, here we are. It's another time for a great lunch break. Nice spot here to sit down on this log. You hungry, Elmer? Wait, well, let's do one on the list before we stop though. Look at this beautiful tree coming in. It's a red bud. I'll find the live tree. There it is. Let me check that off. Great. That's how to eat a sandwich. Yum, yum. It's important to be good to your pet. I made a dog sandwich for Elmer.
There you go.
Look, what's the chances of a flying insect landing on the actual square for a flying insect? Go ahead and check that one off. In school, I would do classes where you would sit for at least a half an hour to an hour in one spot. And you can hear all the animals and all the critters all around, the insects descending. Once you're quiet, you'll find that nature starts reestablishing itself. But when you're walking and you're making all this racket, animals can hear you and they'll run away or go back to their hovels. But it's good to stay quiet for a little bit and you can let nature settle back down and just be normal. Up, there's some hawks. That's on the list. Bird. Oh yeah. Here, check this out. This is an important tree out here. The tulip poplar has these really cool shaped leaves, huh? And it's not really a poplar, it's a magnolia tree that doesn't flower. But they're really important out here, especially during the pioneer days for wood. It's a really good quality wood. And they grow really, really straight. Beautiful trees. See you soon. As I was walking by, I noticed this root structure of this tree coming down. And it provides a perfect space in here for little rodents like voles and mice live in these areas. And we have a lot of different kinds of rodents that live in these kind of areas. And you can see all these little dug up dirt. See these tracks in here? And that's like a mouse digging in there, probably bringing food in and out, and then he sleeps in there, obviously uses it as hovel. And then there's another one in here, but he doesn't look like he goes in there as much because the moss is looking pretty fluffy in there. But that definitely counts as an animal track, in my opinion. What you think, Elmer? Here's tracks. I'm gonna mark that off. I want to show you something else while we're here. Come on, Elmer. Look at these mushrooms growing on the side of these nurse logs. Those are turkey tail mushrooms. And those are medicinal mushrooms that the pioneers and the Cherokee used. They would grind them up and put them in tea strainers and strain them in hot water. And they basically just load up your body with all kinds of good vitamins to fight off colds and flus. Still used today. Here's one right here. Big old birch tree. Cool. Well on our way. It's a big one, huh? Oh, there's another one. Spider's web. Cool, huh? What a great spot. You know, bugs are flying really low on the trail. Using the trail as an access point because there's less trees and even animals going by and bugs can jump off like ticks and whatnot. It's a great spot so low to the ground like this. Sure, he gets a lot of good little critters in there. But here's another one on the list. Great. Oh, here's another one. Water. Norris Lake, look, it just stretches on and on. Inviting adventure. Gonna get in. Where is that one? Oh, there it is. I want to point something out here. You know, water obviously comes downhill, and we have a lot of natural springs here. There's springs that flow all year, and then there's springs that flow seasonally. And here's a seasonal spring right here. And when you're hiking along with your parents, it's good to like look up the slopes. You'll see creases in the mountains and the hills, and usually that's where a spring is coming out of the ground. There, you'll see an indentation. You might see it flowing, but it might not be. But it's great because the water comes underground and it keeps it really fresh that way. So we have some of the best mountain water anywhere in the world here in the southeast. Oh, yeah, right. I forgot. One more on the list. We got some random tree nuts. Voila. There's one up there. Looks like a small squirrel nest. See on the side of that branch? That big load of leaves. I'm sure there's branches and all kinds of stuff piled up in there. All right. Yes. Oh, that's our last one for bingo. A crawling insect. It's a small beetle. All right. Where is that beetle? There we go. Wow, look at all the ones we found today. Well, here's the ending to that book we saw in the beginning of the hike. Thanks for coming on a hike with me today. See you soon.